I made a video all about Yordan Alvarez earlier this year, but I feel like I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't make another one after what he just did. A lot of people talk about Mike Trout, for good reason. He's the best and most consistently great player in baseball. He's just that good. Aaron Judge has been a force to not be reckoned with ever since his rookie season in 2017, and of course had the season of his life in 2022, hitting 62 home runs with an OPS over 1100. Mookie Betts and Juan Soto are other great hitters who get a lot of love. Well, you know what's similar about all those players? They are pure hitters. They don't rely on one aspect of their game to be successful. They can hit for a good batting average, get on base at a high rate, and of course hit bombs. Now, when it comes to the Houston Astros, we all know the story and baggage that comes with even the slightest mention of that franchise. They cheated, yes, and their 2017 World Series championship season will never be looked at the same. And I used to be a guy who absolutely despised that team and a lot of their players. But honestly, my hate for them has gone down a whole lot over the last year or so, in large part due to Yordan Alvarez. Yordan Alvarez was of course not on that 2017 Astros team, so you can't hate him for that. And I think he really is somehow overlooked despite how elite of a hitter he is. Yordan didn't make his MLB debut until 2019, and he shined, becoming a big reason as to why that team was so good, adding yet another deadly weapon to that offense. He'd missed the first part of the shortened 2020 due to catching the virus, going on to then have his season cut short because he had to get surgery on both of his knees, but he was back in 2021. In 2021, Yordan Alvarez hit really well, and then came 2022. This season, Alvarez hit over 300, had an on-base percentage of over 400, and oh yeah, smacked 37 home runs and 29 doubles. Insane production right in the thick of that Astros lineup that has lost some talent over the last couple of years. It's funny to think that at one point when Alvarez was doing tryouts for scouts in the Dominican Republic, nobody really wanted him, saying he looked lazy, wasn't athletic enough, didn't have enough power, no position to put him at, and they just didn't feel he was worth any of their money, being more comfortable to spend it elsewhere. Well, Yordan has only made those scouts look incredibly dumb. So what makes Yordan Alvarez so special? The fact that he's just as talented as Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, among others. I mean, he's easily one of the game's best hitters and can do it all. Like Trout, like Judge, and all of those guys, Yordan can hit to a good batting average, gets on base as good as anybody, hits the ball ridiculously hard, has tremendous power, and he's not afraid of the big stage either. In last year's postseason run by the Astros, he was just ridiculous. In the ALCS, Yordan hit over 500 with an OPS over 1500. I mean, the Red Sox just could not get him out. Overall, in 16 postseason games in 2021, Yordan hit 315 with a 449 on-base percentage and an OPS north of 1,000. I already mentioned how elite he was during the regular season this year, and then came Game 1 of the ALDS. Yordan Alvarez is just unbeatable. I think that's a really good word to sum him up as a hitter. He doesn't have a weakness. It doesn't matter if there's a righty or lefty on the mound, what pitches you throw, how hard you throw, it doesn't mean anything. If it's over the plate, there's a good chance Yordan is going to crush it, and he only continued his dominance in Game 1 against the Mariners. The Astros had to stage a comeback after being down 6-2 at one point, as Justin Verlander gave up those 6 runs on 10 hits, one in which left the park for a homer. Yordan basically said, "Don't worry guys, I'll carry this team to a win," and he did. In the bottom of the third, Yordan got the Astros on the board after taking an off-speed pitch from Logan Gilbert and sending it off the wall in left center for a 2-run double. In the eighth, Yordan sent a pitch off the wall in right field on a line at 113.7 miles an hour with 1 out, followed by an Alex Bregman homer to make it 7-5. The Mariners entered the bottom of the ninth still up 2, and Paul Sewald in to close the game out. Now, manager Scott Service and his team understand how dangerous Yordan is, so they had a plan. Immediately warming up left-handed starting pitcher Robbie Ray to face Alvarez if it went that far. In order for Yordan to be able to come up, 4 Astros hitters would have to go up to the plate without recording 3 outs. Jose Altuve would strike out for the second out of the inning with a man on first, but thanks to a Jeremy Pena 2-out, 2-strike base hit to center, that means Yordan Alvarez had the chance to do something special. And did he ever? Robbie Ray came into the game to do that lefty-lefty matchup, but like I said earlier, Yordan Alvarez doesn't have any weaknesses. It doesn't matter who's on the mound or what angle the pitch is coming from. If you make a mistake, you will pay. And Robbie Ray paid the price. On an 0-1 pitch, Ray gave Alvarez a 93-mile-an-hour fastball on the low inside portion of the plate for him to hit into oblivion, walking it off of the Astros as the crowd went nuts. Yordan Alvarez has quickly become one of my favorite players to watch hit in all of baseball. He's just unbeatable.